Hello, everybody. Welcome. So glad we're here tonight. Amy, we have no need of announcements tonight because, oh, maybe we do now. Welcome. Come on in. I guess we do have need of announcements tonight. Welcome. I'm Bob. That's Amy. She's in Alaska. She's our co-teacher. She can't hear you right now because I don't have that microphone on. Anyway, welcome. Nice to meet you. There's a bathroom. Have you been here to the Bodhi Tree before? Okay, so there's bathrooms in the corner back there. And the Bodhi Tree operates essentially as a nonprofit. And if you found your time here valuable, there's a box in the hallway there if you'd like to contribute dana to what's going on. If you go to the bathroom, I will tell you this, there is a lock on the handle and a slide lock. If you use the slide lock, you're good. If you use the lock on the handle, remember to unlock it because you can get out without unlocking it. And it will lock behind you, and then we'll have to go unlock everything. So that is how it goes. Welcome. Glad you're all here tonight. Was anybody here last Wednesday when we weren't here? I know you two were. Yeah. So we missed you guys. I was off at a convention, and I really want to thank Dr. Than. And was his wife with him soon? Yeah. Yeah. I've covered for them. They cover for me. That's wonderful. All right. Yeah, they're wonderful. So that's Amy there. Hi, Amy. I'm going to switch microphones so they can hear you. So you can hear everybody.
Aloha. You want to see my backyard? What, snow?
And trees. You got light.
It was negative, yeah, I got light. You have like 10 hours of daylight these days. It was negative 43 this week. Still cold. But hopefully getting warmer. So, all right. For those who feel comfortable, we're going to go ahead and stand for a bit and do some movement. If you don't feel comfortable, then you can go ahead and modify however you want.
Stand. If you're tall, be careful of the fan above you.
All right, so let's just stand in place and allow us to sense gravity. Invitation to place your hand on your belly to feel the air as you inhale and exhale. Today, Bob's going to be talking about the worldly wind. So as we move today, we're going to imagine we're like the wind a bit. So we're going to step a little bit back and forth between the legs, stepping and swaying a bit. And if you're seated, you can sway a bit, however you feel comfortable. Go ahead and lengthen out the arms and continue to sway a little bit. Go ahead and pause, coming into stillness and reaching up a little higher. And we're going to drop our arms quickly and breathe out like this. can come into stillness or do one more, whatever feels good. Noticing the effect on the body as we've done this. Now we're going to go ahead and stretch our arms out. And then in, moving them in, kind of tapping the shoulder blades. Maybe some big breaths as we do this. Go ahead and swing the arms a bit to your sides. And then once again, we're going to go up and down. Of the day. Go ahead and allow your body to shake a little bit, shaking out the arms, shaking the shoulders, maybe doing some twists, allowing the upper body to soften somewhat some of the tension that might be there in the shoulders and the neck. Doing whatever calls to the neck and the shoulders right now. What would help support them? So often there's tension there. We'll go ahead and begin to do a slight twist with our arms, allowing the back of our hands to hit our sides and our back. Maybe one more time, one more round. And coming into stillness again. May invitation to put hand on the stomach again. And notice the rise and the fall of the abdomen now. How does the body feel right now in this moment? Go ahead and in the moment just mindfully make our way seated. Seeing if you can keep the tension as you walk toward or sit down, wherever you're going to be seated for a short sit. Maybe taking an extra long, slow breath. It's okay to make noise with this breath. Coming into stillness and silence. Is it possible to feel still inside despite any noises, any distractions? Is there a still place inside? Inviting any parts of the body that are tight or tense to soften. Resting in this moment. As we sit for the next 20 minutes, the invitation would be to follow the breath. But if that is not in your practice, you can choose to ground in the moment, however it feels of service to your practice. It can be through sound, it can be through awareness of body sensations. So if it feels like my words aren't serving, just let them flow through you. And keep returning to the breath. With the patience of a banyan tree or a Bodhi tree. And keep returning to this moment. however today went. We put it down for now. Whatever your plans for the rest of the evening, we set them down too. We honor our lives by being in this moment, following the breath. The tenderness of this precious breath. Our lives in this world can feel uncertain. And we can lean into the refuge of the breath in this moment if it's available. And if our minds will try this experiment, and if our lungs allow it, we can lean on it. Like a mother may soothe its child, its only child, so may this breath soothe us through life. The invitation is to notice when our mind wanders and to bring it back with the patience of a best friend, the patience of our hearts on our most generous days, the patience our animals give us, and they love us unconditionally. And come back gently. And you can expand out your attention to whatever else is present. You can expand out your attention to sounds, body sensations, and even noting thoughts. And if that gets too tricky, just bring it back to the breath or one thing. Keeping it simple. If anything feels complicated, you just choose here what could be most simple. Continuing to stay with the breath, noting any confusion from the noises, settling back in if you thought maybe we were shifting to something else, settling back into here and now. Can we create safety inside in this present moment? A precious space of safety inside ourselves in this moment. Our lives exactly as they are. And ending with a little bit of metta, kindness phrases for ourselves and others. May we be safe, seen, and supported. May we be happy and healthy and heard. May we know that we're enough. And may our life unfold with ease. May we feel safe, seen, and supported. May we feel happy, healthy, and heard. May we feel our life unfold with ease. May we know we're enough. And may all living beings everywhere from the smallest animal, the smallest bug, to the biggest whale, to the biggest tree, and all beings in between. May all beings be safe, seen, and supported. Happy, healthy, and heard. May all beings have lives that unfold with ease. And may they know they're enough. Bring.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah.
All right. So we're,
Go ahead.
excuse me?
Go ahead.
We're going to take about a 7-minute break. There's a restroom in the foyer there. There's water. We just ask that you don't bring an open container in here, but if you have a closed one, that's fine. Feel free to go out on the lanai or walk around outside. If you really need to get into the bathroom and it's busy, there's one at the bottom of the stairs over here. You might have to fight the adorable dog. And then when we come back, I'll give a little Dharma talk and we'll have another sitting to close out the evening. So thank you.
Also with noble silence, but that's okay.
Welcome back. Wow, it's so nice to see people I don't know, and people I do, because I do know a bunch of you. So we'll have a little chat, a little talk from me, and then we'll sit again. I hope that's okay with everybody. I spent the weekend at a conference where I was the program chair. Could we close the screens so the insects don't need to be chased out later? Because we don't want to kill them, but we do want them not to be in here. Thank you. So I got to thinking at this conference, because I was the program chair, and I set up all the speakers and I picked the topics. And all of a sudden, my mind started going, oh, people are loving this. Oh, that guy over there hates this. This is that person is unhappy. This person is happy. And so I started thinking about what I'd talk about this week. And it really, from the Loka Vipattī Sutta, is the 8 winds that blow through us. And I'm going to start by reading a bit of the Buddha's words. And then talk a little about what it sort of meant to me over the course of the weekend. Monks, and for tonight, you can all consider yourself monks. These 8 worldly conditions spin after the world, and the world spins after these 8 worldly conditions. Which 8? Gain, loss, status, disgrace, censure, praise, pleasure, and pain. These are 8 worldly conditions that spin after the world, and the world spins after these 8 worldly conditions. For the uninstructed run-of-the-mill, there arise gain, loss, status, disgrace, censure, praise, pleasure, and pain. For well-instructed disciples, the noble ones, there also arises gain, loss, status, disgrace, censure, praise, pleasure, and pain. So what difference, what distinguishing factor is there between the well-instructed person and the uninstructed person? The difference is this. These conditions among human beings are inconstant, impermanent, subject to change. Knowing this, the mindful, intelligent person ponders these changing conditions. Desirable things don't charm the mind. Undesirable things bring no resistance. His welcoming and rebelling are scattered, gone to their end, do not exist. Knowing the dustless, sorrowless state he discerns rightly, has gone beyond becoming to the further shore. It's just the weather. So there I am. I'm in this conference, and it went really well, and I am really pleased about that. But if anyone's ever put on a conference, especially if you've ever been the program chair, guess what? As soon as you're done writing the program, it's not yours. It's up to the people that are presenting it. No matter how good your topics are, if the person doesn't do a good job, you could have written the Gettysburg Address, and if the person mumbles and can't be heard, it's not going to come off. So I'm hearing this praise going, oh my gosh, this is wonderful, this is wonderful. And I'm realizing that my ego is getting built up, and this is, I think, sort of that thought about, this is just the weather. This is coming through. And yes, there are always complaints. You know these people. They're the ones who come to whatever you're doing. There's like there's like 0.5% of them. They're going to complain about whatever's going on. And they may be right, I grant you that. But again, it's the weather, right? It's just what is going to happen. And I just love the way the Buddha talks about this, because if I look at my life, this is exactly what's going through my mind at any given moment. Did anyone have trouble like sitting in quiet my mind chatters. And that's what it chatters about, right? It chatters about, like, I wonder how these people are doing. Are they enjoying this or are they not enjoying this? Are they looking at me like I'm an idiot or are they looking at me like I actually know something? Wait a minute, do I actually know something? Wait a second, my butt hurts. I think I need to move. You know, it's all of this wrapped up into one. And one of my favorite ways of meditation is to remind myself that I can be the sky. And the chatter isn't going to go away. You know, most of us, I don't know about you guys, but when I came to meditation, you know, my first question was, how can I get my mind to shut off? And the bad news is you can't. It's just going to keep chattering, and it's probably going to chatter about those things. The good news is we can learn to pay attention to other things, like the breath, or being the sky, or whatever else happens to be actually present in the moment. So the other thing I like to do, and I did it before the conference, I took an extra day off of work before the conference. I like to go out on long distance bicycle rides. So I took Wednesday off last week, and I went with someone who was coming for the conference and had gotten in touch with me saying, oh, I bicycle, can you help? And we went out all the way around the windward side and back, not all the way up to Honolulu, but through Waimanalo, you know, and back about 50 miles. It's a nice morning, you know, kind of, we got back around lunchtime. It was great, right? What I noticed about it, though, was we were riding out into the wind. And I liken that to sort of all of this stuff going on. Now, we rode out into the wind, and you know, I'm kind of older, so I'm not racing. It's a bicycle ride. And the woman I'm with, she's not, she was just in, she knows I bike. She's also in her 60s. So it was slow. We were putting out a decent amount of effort and we were going slow, right? When we came back, the wind was at our back and everything was great. But here's the thing. We bicycled at approximately the same pace. Yes, we were much faster coming back. We were much slower going out. But in terms of pedaling, it was just the practice. And those winds, they affected us, sure, but we weren't really paying attention to them. We were paying attention to this beautiful bike ride. It was, you know, we'd had that terrible weather 10 days ago, right, with the 6 to 8 inches of rain and flooding. And I was so hoping the weather would be good on Wednesday, and it was absolutely a gorgeous day. And so we had this 5 hours of mindfulness, of being present in the world, regardless of that wind, regardless of whether it was pushing us or pushing against us. And I liken that to the practice that we're doing here. Because, you know, it doesn't matter that much what's going on in our head. When I practice, I've been taught by my teacher, well, my teachers, if my brain is full of these winds of the gain and the loss and the praise and the you know, the sorrow and this and that, just to go, oh, my brain's really busy, great. And I can even make that the object of my meditation. Wow, my brain is chattering. Look at all that chatter, right? And I'll be honest with you, after years of this, it does tend to get annoyed with me when I do that. And it's kind of like we're not getting to him. Other times they do, trust me. I'm not this guy. I can't sit there serenely all the time. There is a bit of writing by Han Shan, who would be called Cold Mountain, I believe. I wish I'd written down when he did this, but think centuries ago. He says, I see people of this world at a loss. They hurry through the dust on the road. They don't know the central matter. So how can they make a future path? How many days can glory last? Dear ones are close to you but for a short time. Even if you had 1,000 pounds of gold, it would be better to spend it sitting in the woods. And in so many ways that's true. Striving after whatever it is, ultimately it's inconstant, it's impermanent, it won't last, right? If someone tells you, oh my gosh, that was wonderful, 20 minutes later, someone's going to come up to you and go, this was the worst thing I've ever been at. You know? Which one is right? Well, to them, they're both right. To you, may they just be the weather. You know, if you know you've done your best, be in the moment. Enjoy it. There's another one I love by Ryokan. And it's, my hut lies in a dense forest. Every year the green ivy grows longer. No news of the affairs of men. Only the occasional song of a woodcutter. The sun shines, and I mend my robe. When the moon comes out, I read Buddhist poems. I have nothing to report, my friends. If you want to find meaning, stop chasing after so many things. And those are the winds that we chase. We try and push away the pain. We try and push away the regret. I do. I don't know about you guys, but you know, I don't want to hear that person complaining. I want to hear that. I want to grab after that person praising whatever it was. And ultimately, none of that gets me anything, you know? That bike ride did. That bike ride, I was calm. I was prepared for the conference. I knew I'd be working like 12-hour days every day, all weekend. That's fine. But having that clean break and having that realization that, you know, I was putting out the same effort riding into the wind, just slower, as I was riding back, just faster. It was just the wind. And I think if I make too much of it, I would have missed the bike ride. If I just spent all my time going, wow, this is really hard, biking into the wind, this is terrible, this is awful. And you know, if you're a cyclist, it's not hills that get you. Honestly, it is the wind. That is the number one thing. Hills are fine. Wind is unpleasant, unless you just don't worry about it. Coming back, I could have gone, oh my gosh, I'm fast, look at me. And that would have just been an ego trip about how fast we were riding back when it had nothing to do with us. It was just the weather. Just the weather. So we can always ask ourselves, what part of me is the sky? When I sit, is the sky present? The sky, that awareness, that just open awareness that just allows all of these things to happen. You know, the weather was beautiful on Wednesday last week. I mean, it usually is beautiful here, let's face it. I mean, there are bad days. There are days where we need the rain. I don't know that we needed 8 inches of it on that, what was it, Sunday or Saturday. But the sky above it isn't affected. Right? We live down here in the weather. But am I living in the weather in my mind? Yeah, a lot of times I am. And there's really no escaping it for me. But there is the realization that really that awareness is the sky. And this stuff is just stuff. It's just, and it isn't going to last. Remembering that any situation isn't going to last is so helpful. And I don't want to play the age card, but at 68, a lot of things in my life haven't lasted, and I'm still here. And I still love my life. So, you know, I'm going to get over it. I've lost relatives, I've lost pets, I've gained relatives, I've gained pets. I've never had a lot of money, but I've had more. I've had less. I'm here. You know, most of what goes on is weather. And if I make weather the central point of my life, I am buffeted back and forth all the time. If I allow myself to be open and the sky, it works out okay for me. When I remember to do it, keep in mind, I don't remember to do it all the time. And I think that's a lot of what meditation is practicing remembering, practicing cultivating, just simply practicing, not so that we can be great meditators sitting here. I mean, that's really nice and it's wonderful, and I do it all the time myself. But really, the skill is to take that bit into the rest of our lives. So that's what I came up with about all this stuff buffeting me around at the conference. And it's just so wonderful that the Buddha talked directly to what goes on in my head so much of the time. There's another line from Ryokan, and I don't have the whole poem written down because the one line is enough, and we'll use it to lead into our second sitting. But why so busy? What's the use of running around? Truth is right before your eyes. Why don't we sit again? Just allow yourself to become comfortable. Find a posture that we can sit at for 20 minutes. If you need to move, please do so. If my words get whatever and you don't want to deal with them, just do whatever meditation practice works for you. I always like to start, though, with a few deep breaths in, holding briefly, and then exhaling slowly, a little more slowly than I took the breath in. Just allow ourselves to do this 2 or 3 times. There's really nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to be, nothing to improve. Just arrive. Just stop. Allow our consciousness to settle into our heart space the same way we're allowing our body to settle into our cushion or our chair. Just allow ourselves to be aware of being here at the Bodhi tree. The sounds around us in the kitchen, the dogs, people, all just here. Allowing ourselves to feel our contact with our chair and the floor, our hands. Just allowing ourselves to sit and know we're sitting. If thoughts arise, let them. They're just the weather. We might ask ourselves, as Rilken did, why so busy? Not a criticism, not an admonition. Can I just be here for this one breath? Allow ourselves to be aware of the winds. This is an investigation. Am I leaning into pleasantness? Am I tightening around discomfort? Am I reaching for things? Am I resisting? Is my mind hurrying or at ease? Just winds. Just weather. Can I be with just this one breath? aware of our breath rising and falling, of our body sitting here, now. Just awareness, the central matter to Han Shan. Simple presence. We might, like the sky, widen our field, rise above the weather, the sounds, sensations, and thoughts, all weather. May we be the sky, which needs chase nothing. It needs push nothing away. The winds blow. The sky is steady. As we near the end of this sitting, we might set an intention, simply to stop sometimes and ask, why so busy? What if nothing needs to be chased right now, in this moment, in this breath? What if it's just the wind? In a moment, I'll shut down the stream, but we don't have to leave. We'll open up the mic and we'll have Amy on. And if you have questions or wish to share something, it'll be that time, but I have to do a little technical fidgeting now. If you've joined us online, thank you. We'll be back next week when Amy and I will switch. I'll lead the first part, and Amy will give us the teaching. Thank you for being with us tonight.